Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 12 ways to save money as a family. We have recently looked at our finances because we have dreams of moving in about 3 years time. So we thought it would be a good idea to see if there's any way that we can save. And let's face it, as a family of 5, any savings is very welcome. So I thought I would share my top tips with you, and I really hope you like this video. If you do, please give this video a big thumbs up. And if you're new, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into my tips. So to start out, it's a good idea to analyze what you're currently spending and see if there's any way that you could be saving money. So just sit down with your bank statement, look at what is coming in and what is going out, and challenge yourself on every outgoing. Think about whether a bill looks right, if you could be making better choices, and where you're spending your money. This is such an effective way to see where you could be saving money. I recently did this and I noticed that my mobile phone bill is more than it should be every single month. So I looked into it in more detail and I realized that there are 2 subscriptions on my phone that I don't even want or need, so I've now canceled them. And I also noticed that I should be on a different tariff, so I've now changed that. It's a great way to reevaluate things and see if there are savings that you could be making. But if you can't even be bothered to look at your statement, another really good tip that you can do is get yourself a little notebook or journal and start writing down everything that you spend, whether it's a coffee or a gym membership or a bill. Write it all down and you will soon see where you are spending your money and ways that you can save as well. And it also is quite painful when you actually have to write down what you're spending in ink, so it really makes you think about your purchases. My next tip is to look at your current energy provider and see if you could save money by switching. The whole inspiration for this video was because uSwitch got in touch with me. They are a website that compare energy deals among other things, and they have challenged me to see if I could save money on their website because they are on a mission to save people money. 6 out of 10 people are on a standard variable tariff when it comes to energy, so that means they could be spending a lot more than they need to be. So I went onto the website to see if I could save money. All you need to do this is a recent energy bill, and you can do it on your laptop, on their app, or even call the call center. It took just 10 minutes, and I could not believe that I could save £300 by switching providers. I was in shock when I saw this, and on average people save £290 by switching suppliers through uSwitch, and some people save up to £490, so it's definitely worth looking into. And once I've chosen the right supplier, it takes 2.5 weeks to swap over, and that includes a 2-week cooling off period. So if you don't know what tariff you're on, if you've never switched suppliers before, if you don't even know what I'm talking about, chances are that you could be saving a lot of money on your energy bills. And while I was looking into it, I also realized that I am £150 in credit on my energy payments. So I didn't even realize that, and I can take that out if I want to, or I could leave it where it is for the winter payments. But it's just nice to know, and 11 million people don't realize that they are actually in credit. So again, it's worth looking into. I'll put the links down below. And uSwitch are also running a competition so that you could win £290 in shopping vouchers to spend on something that you love or that you like and that you want to actually spend it on. So I'll put all the T's and C's in the description down below again, and the competition ends on the 15th of April. And it also sends a powerful message to energy companies that we won't stand for rip-off prices. And while we're talking about energy, my next tip is to cool things down. I've talked about this before on my channel, but a lot of the energy we use is from heating the water in our washing machine, our dishwasher, rooms that we may not use. So if you can get away with a cool wash when you're washing your clothes, or a cool cycle in your dishwasher, that will save on your energy. And just little things like teaching your kids to turn lights off when they leave a room, not leaving the fridge wide open for ages, and as I said, not heating rooms if you're not using them. All of that will lower your energy bill. My next tip is to make a budget and try and stick to it. Once you know what your outgoings are, you can write a budget, and then anything left over you can put into savings. There are also some great budgeting apps that you can use. And another little tip is to make your savings account in a different bank than your current account. Sometimes it's too easy to swap money between the 2 accounts when they're at the same bank. So if you're really trying to save and you want to make it less accessible, put your savings in a different bank. My next tip is to buy your food shopping online and meal plan. I feel like I've said this a million times on this channel before, but it really will save you money and stop you impulse buying. I know that I will save so much more if I plan out our meals in a week than if I'm in the garage every day buying our dinners. And another little tip is to try supermarket own brand products. I think some of them taste just as good. My next tip is couponing, and when I say that word, I think of someone sat there cutting out coupons from a magazine, and I obviously don't do that. I don't have time for that. What I mean is when I'm shopping online and I have a full cart of stuff, I will open a separate window, do a Google search, and see if there are any discounts or offers online that I can use on what I'm buying. And there are actually desktop extensions that you can download that do the hard work for you. And I also utilize vouchers and offers when we go out to eat. I don't think I've had a full price Pizza Express meal in years. My next tip is to minimalize things. I have loved the minimalism trend because it has really made me think about what I'm buying, if I need it, if I love it, etc. And as a family of 5, we have so much stuff that we probably don't need, so it definitely makes me rethink my purchases. And another thing that I really like to do is have no buy months. So once or twice a year, I will not buy any luxuries. Obviously, we will pay the essentials like mortgage bills, etc. But I won't treat myself to any makeup or clothes or nights out for that whole month. And it definitely saves me money over the year, and it just makes me think about things. My next tip is to get strategic when you're buying a big purchase. There are certain times of the year that it is actually cheaper to buy certain big ticket items. For instance, we needed to buy a bigger car, and we pretty much decided that when Jackson turned 1 in September that we didn't have enough space as a family of 5. But the best time to buy a car is January. In the new year is when they are at their cheapest. So we waited till January to buy our new car. So it's really interesting when things cost more or less, when they are at their peak, etc. So I will link that down below as well. I feel like my next tip is really obvious, but it's definitely worth saying because it's a big one for us, and that is look for free activities and take a picnic or a packed lunch. I am so looking forward to spring and summer where there will be more free things to do, like just taking the kids to a free park, etc. But there are some great apps that you can download where you can find free activities near you. And I always take a packed lunch. Often my kids prefer what I make anyway, and it saves me a lot of money. Obviously, if I'm going to a Subway or something, I will buy a coffee, but I will bring their sandwiches, snacks, etc. to save a bit of money, because the cost of entry does add up. The other day we went to the farm and it was £35 for me and the 3 kids to get in. I could not believe it. £35 to feed some animals. Oh, and the animal feed was extra. My next tip is to cancel unused subscriptions. So just have a look at what you actually use and what you don't. Do you actually use all of those Sky channels that you have? Do you use Netflix enough to justify it, etc.? And it's definitely worth going to the subscription part of your phone. I did this on my iPhone and I didn't even realize that I had a few coming out. If you've ever had a 1 month free trial or 6 month free trial and then it goes straight on to you paying for it, it's definitely worth having a look at that. My next tip is a really cool one and one I only just recently found out about, and that is when you are searching for flights or for travel, holidays, etc., delete the cookies on your browser, because if it sees you keep looking for those flights, it will know that you really want them and it could potentially put the price up. And my final tip is to look at your mortgage and get your house valued. We have lived in the same house for 7.5 years and we hadn't really thought massively about our mortgage, but we recently had our house valued and it has gone up so much in value, which means that we can get a much better rate on our mortgage. So we have organized it all. It's like less than 2% now, and we were paying much more than that. So it's definitely worth looking at your mortgage and valuing your home as well. Right, so that is it for this video. I really hope you liked it. I feel like I have lots of more little tips. So if you did like this video and you want to see more tips, let me know in the comments below or just give this video a big like. And also thank you to uSwitch for sponsoring this video. It's been really nice promoting something to my viewers that will actually save them money. So thanks again for that. And as I said, I'll put all the details down below for their competition. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.